Recent movements by central banks are mostly in the same direction. But the question is, are they coordinated, and should they be? Policy coordination, you'll remember, a really important part of the response to the financial crisis. Of course, that's not where the global economy is right now, but not hard to think with today's global situation. You could easily have countries racing to the bottom with their currencies and their interest rates, which is to say, if the Fed cuts more, as the market expects, will other countries just cut even more to stay a step ahead?
If the world economy is really bad, having all the central banks ease, whether coordinated or not, seems like the right policy. The question is the economy that bad, and can the central banks rescue it if it's the politicians creating all the problems?
The questions out there. So this is the reasons why the Fed should cut most, offered by most people. The U.S. and the global economy both slowing. Global rates are much lower. The Fed needs to come down to that area. It could weaken the dollar, which is what the president wants, and, of course, meet market expectations. On the other hand, the reasons why the Fed should hold, well, cuts don't address tariff problems. Tariff problems can be quickly resolved. All of a sudden, the Fed would cut, and the Chinese and the U.S. come to an agreement. Other central banks, of course, would just cut more, and the U.S. consumer remains strong. While there's debate, of course, about what the Fed should do, how it should do it, in coordination or not, considerable certainty about what the Fed will do. Futures market this morning trade with a 100% chance of a cut in September and about an 80% probability of another one in October. And, Sarah, as you know, there's sort of toying back and forth on the 50% line with a third cut in December.
I think it depends how you define. I mean, clearly the Fed has a dual mandate from Congress, but a lot of people, including Janet Yellen recently, suggest that, you know, the Fed and the U.S. is not an island. The Fed is the world's central bank. It's the most powerful central bank. It has the ability to ease financial conditions around the globe.
You know, Sarah, you're talking about ancient history. Wasn't that a week ago that Yellen talked? I mean, who knows what she would think now? She was on board with that last quarter point, but now you have the market already dialing in another 3. And I think this, as you pointed out, the surprise is yesterday from those 3 central banks. Look, they're not the biggest and most important in the world, but they do raise the question if they're going to go even further than we go, and can we ever really get ahead of it?